9:16, welcome back everybody. Time for Ask the Expert. Centennial Glass Depot is here to answer your questions as we close up the cottage, close up the house, seal things up with the cold weather approaching. Tom Zoobkoff is here. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great, thanks. How are you?
I'm very good. I was just talking about the glass cleaner that you provided me with last time you were here. And you said you guaranteed it would work, and it sure enough did, helping out my vision through my windshield, which is nice.
After all, it is the world's greatest glass cleaner.
Yeah,
so
there you
I'm
have
not surprised.
Welcome back to the show. We're going to talk about sealing things up for this time of year, right?
Exactly. It's that time of year. It's getting a little colder. We want to keep the cold air out. We wanted to keep the cold air in all summer, but now we want to keep the cold air out, and we want to seal things up. Change some glass in our house, put some mods and sods on, and get nice and warm and snug for the winter.
Now, when you say change some glass, we're going to talk replacing windows in another show, a complete show on that. But what are we talking about when you say changing glass at this time of year?
Well, a lot of thermal panes in people's homes will be failed, and once they're failed, you have absolutely no insulating value whatsoever, so they need to be changed. They look unsightly, they're awful. Every day looks like it's cloudy, even when it's a nice, beautiful, sunny day like today.
What do you mean, like something happens to the glass? What happens?
They sure do. A sealed unit is two pieces of glass that is hermetically sealed by glue.
We talking about this here?
That's the one right there. As a matter of fact, I thought I would bring that for you to have a look at. That, when you see that in your home, you know you have trouble, and for a lot of reasons. So what happens is, once that sealed unit has failed, you no longer have any insulating value. Plus, once the water starts to build and grow, you're also going to end up with frame damage a little later on.
I'm going to put it against my shirt here so you can see what's going on. So we've got all kinds of dirt.
So all this
we've got condensation in there.
Exactly. So what's happened is that thermal pane is glued together. Somewhere around the perimeter of that glass, the glue has let go.
Is that what a double thermal pane is? It's glass that's glued together?
Exactly. Hermetically sealed. Okay. And it works out to be very good. You have an insulating value. Once that seal breaks, you no longer have that insulating value.
The seal has been compromised, Tom.
That's right.
Okay.
You are correct. And a little bit of fresh air is getting in. Condensation is forming. And once that condensation begins to dry, that cloud is right there. And that's what's left is the minerals and the residues from the air.
What's all the dirt? How does the dirt get in there and stuff? Is that from the seal itself, maybe?
It is. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Okay.
And so that transpires.
You can see it's even rusted a bit in there. Once the condensation gets in,
that's right,
you're done for.
Well, that's correct, because a little bit of water gets onto that aluminum band that's inside there, and then it begins to rust. Or the steel band begins to rust, and then eventually what will happen is the water will get so great it'll begin to puddle in the bottom.
Yeah.
And it'll come down into your frame.
I've seen that happen, yeah.
And then we have trouble, because once it comes into your frame, it begins to rot the bottom of your frame out. Now you're into a complete window replacement, which you probably didn't need to do if this was addressed at the right time.
Is that right? Well, what would you do instead of replacing a window then?
Well, we'd come in, take all the measurements, the correct measurements, put the proper type of glass, change that glass, pull the glass out, clean the frame, make sure everything's exactly correct, and at that point then put the new glass in, replace everything, seal it up, weather tight, and you're off to the races.
So you don't need a complete new window or new set of windows in all cases?
Not at all. You could end up, if you're with proper maintenance and care of your windows, you could end up with an extra 15 years out of those windows.
Yeah?
Yeah. And again, on a nice sunny day like today, it looks nice and sunny.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this is costing you a lot of money in the long run, right? The longer you leave this, the worse off you are.
Well, it's the same as any problem of any aspect of your home. The longer you leave it, it's going to grow, it's going to extend itself, and it's going to be costly. Proper maintenance system, fix it as it goes. It's inexpensive. It's not. It doesn't take a lot of time or effort. Yeah. And then everything is better.
Fair to say that this sort of situation is the most common of troubles that you would find in houses?
That's true. If somebody's selling your home and you're walking up to potentially buy a home, and the first thing you see is clouded windows, right away the red lights, the flags are coming up.
Well, they should go up.
That's right. You're thinking, what else is wrong with this home? Why is this not correct? Yeah. We do a lot of work with real estate agents and people selling their homes. It makes a big difference. No one ever said, gee whiz, I never got my money back out of changing a thermal pane.
No, that's a fact. Yeah. You brought along all kinds of other things for us to look at today too.
A lot of these windows aren't going to be for regular homeowners.
Right.
This is probably going to be a standard one right here. That has a low E film with argon filled. That has an argon gas, which is an inert gas, and it helps with sound insulation and also insulating.
So you might find that around here.
Yes, yes, you
Yeah,
sure
in
would.
this building, yeah.
In a lot of places, especially in where they're upstairs in the radio rooms,
radio booths. Yeah.
Yes, they really need that kind of a business there.
Yeah.
So this is the standard business. It comes in this particular one here is tempered glass. This, again, is only a sample, but this is a tempered piece of glass, and this is tempered. It's 5 times stronger than regular glass. It'll be in your patio door when you're looking out, sitting at your dining room table, looking into your backyard, and things are a mess. You'll want to have it tempered. If your dog and your kids and everybody's running around 104 miles an hour and they run into this door, that's going to protect them. It's not going to break. And when it does break, it's going to break in a million pieces so no one's hurt.
Okay, we're going to take our first break, but when we come back, we have other things to examine, like the hardware and so on, right?
Yes.
Very important to make sure that's in working order.
That's right.
And other things to look at when it comes to sealing up your home or cottage for the colder months. Also, take your questions. We've got a couple questions standing by, but we'd love to hear from you. 613-789-6559, extension 2803. Email us ottawa.morning@ctv.ca. We'll take Facebook questions as well. This is Ask the Expert. Tom's here from Centennial Glass Depot. We'll be back in just 2 minutes.